All right. Hello. Welcome back. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to share this out with your friends. And don't forget to hit the like button, please. That helps to get the content out and it helps me out in the best possible way. Aside from the fact that you see my Funko collection up here, and maybe in a different episode we'll go over the collection because I'm pretty sure you all are curious of who I have. So today is actually going to be, actually what's taking place is, well, two things are happening. Originally, I was going to be going to the rescheduled hearing for one of my friends, Sean. We went to the initial hearing, but then what ended up happening was it was rescheduled because his attorney had a medical emergency, I think, the morning of. And as a result, it was rescheduled for today's date, and I was going to go. But now that I know that the second event, which is a resolution to be passed in Elise's honor, that's taking place today, I'm actually going to be going to that, and I was invited to be there for that. So I'll be going to that, and if I'm lucky, I might see if I can catch up with Sean afterwards to see how things went with the trial. I'm gonna make sure that I attach some footage from when I went to the first hearing, just so you'll see what happened. And you saw a little bit of what happened. That was like a month ago. It was rescheduled for today's date. I mean, kind of weird that everything's happening around the same time. But today, we're gonna make sure that we're present for a very important moment where Elise's legacy is recognized and upheld, especially since this week is Trans Awareness Week. This week is very important for the trans community. So it is getting late. It's actually early in the morning. It's like 5:30 in the morning. So let's go in here, and I need to beat this face up. So let's do it. So, how do I look? I know it's a little dark, but I don't have time to deal with lights. You like? Let me know in the comment section if you like this look. In any event, we need to go, 7:30. We need to be there by 9, or actually before 9, so let's hit it. All right, so we are downtown, and we're about to head to City Hall. I got probably a 30-minute walk that I'm gonna try to do in less than 20 minutes. So wish me luck and pray that as many intersections that I have to cross, all the lights are green. Let's pray for that, because I will need it to get there on time. So let's hit it. So we finally made it into the press conference room, and just waiting to hear about the resolution. And it's very essential that we hear about it because we need a resolution and because we have so much confusion. So they need to let me know. In any event, it's like a television screen in here, and I'm gonna show you in a second what we're looking at. So yeah, for sure. All right, so we just took the photo with the mayor. So we still gotta wait for the actual proclamation. And it's gonna be an interesting day. It's gonna be a little longer. Oh, while we were commuting, I got a message from T.H.A.N and that his court date is gonna be nothing more than just like a status update as well as a trial rescheduled date. So, and then it's gonna be done virtually. So we won't be meeting with him today, unfortunately. However, I will pick back up on that particular thing that's going on because a lot of us are invested in his freedom. But until then, we'll just be here and just be supportive of this proclamation. So, for sure.
There are 35 members present. We have a quorum. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be delivered by Reverend Troy Benning of Quinn Chapel AME Church. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Bring you greetings from Quinn Chapel. We hold the distinction of being Chicago's first capital.
For Chicago residents, leaders, to participate in activities around trans disability. This resolution honors and lifts up a fantastic human being and advocate who many of you got to meet back in that pre-pandemic time when we spent more time together in person. Elise Malary's work in advocacy and her impact on our city, even right here in City Hall. I hope some of you will get to listen to some of the comments today and remember maybe interactions that you had with her. Her impact is going to live on, and we can honor her memory best by continuing to move forward the effort around trans awareness, trans inclusion, and trans rights. I want to thank everyone here for your work. I want to thank you for your love, for your family member, for your friend, and for all of the labor that you put forth to make sure that Chicago and our state and our country will continue to grow and become a space where all of our residents, our trans residents and everyone else can thrive and survive and feel welcome and included and have a space. So thank you so much. Madam President, thank you for bringing forth the resolution, and I appreciate you all.
Anytime we find ourselves in where everyone is divided, even before this, we understood our trans women in Chicago go through a different level of struggle than many. We have many who have gone missing. We have many who have been killed with no solution to their murders. And I feel the city doesn't give enough. And so in meeting a lot of folks who've done the work, and in meeting Elise, it gave me new purpose as far as work to do. Elise was someone who touched everyone's heart who got a chance to meet her. Someone who was unapologetic at being a champion and her fight for trans rights. But someone who I feel was better than myself because she could always maintain a smile through all those fights. I don't think anyone that has ever met Elise could forget that smile. There was always a joy, even in revolution, and it's something that teaches our movement how to continue forward. It was an honor to be able to come here to this council with her, Chicago Therapy Collective, to talk to our fellow colleagues. Some of you met her a number of years ago when we were lobbying city council members to sign on to the Hire Trans Now pledge. Which is a pledge to make sure that organizations learn more about what they can do to support our trans folks, to make sure that they have candidates they can hire for positions. And so I'll admit, I thought it'd be more of a challenge to get the number of people on board that we did. So I want to thank our colleagues in the council who all signed on gladly, who spoke about being advocates. And so we want to make sure that not only are we building upon that, but that we continue to grow exponentially. So we're asking our colleagues to sign on to a pledge for Hire Trans Now, to find 5 businesses in each of your wards to also support and be open and learn about how they can create the environment that supports our trans folks, that allow them to be able to apply to jobs and get the recognition they deserve. It shouldn't be just a week, it should be for a lifetime and forever. When we think about folks who end up homeless because they can't find jobs, there's a lot of LGBTQ folks out there because their acceptance is not there where it should be. And so Chicago needs to be a model for the rest of the country and for the rest of the world. And I want to thank Elise for everything she's done, along with the other advocates for doing that work. In order to commit a landmark, what we will be doing in Andersonville is looking at the Catawba stretch and naming it street after Elise, so that we can be remembered. That was the same stretch that had the Black Trans Lives Matter mural in the 48th ward. And so we'll continue and ask our colleagues to join us for the Hire Trans Now pledge. We'll continue doing this work. It doesn't stop. Thank you, Madam President.
Making sure that we got this done in a way that was respectful to the legacy and the memory. I want to thank the Mayor's Advisory Committee on LGBTQ plus affairs, and particularly Butch Trustee, our chair, and all the members of the Advisory Committee for the work that you do every day, but also making sure that our trans siblings' lives, experiences are not lost, and that we recognize that when any of us are rights are victimized, we all are victimized. This is a time to remember and honor one of our brightest lights. As this week marks Transgender Awareness Week, and Sunday marks Transgender Day of Resilience. Elise Malary, I think we all know, was taken from us far too soon, but she made a profound and positive in her life's work to make our city more inclusive and more loving. She was known for being kind and compassionate, while being a fierce and unrelenting voice and a rallying cry for equality. I had not thought that I met her, but one of the folks in the box showed me a photo from Inauguration Day, where we stood together and took a photo. I thank you for sharing that. Her advocacy knew no bounds. Whether she was traveling across the state of Illinois to meet with youth at the Rainbow Cafe LGBTQ Center in Carbondale, or to lobby legislators in Springfield, Elise was passionate about advancing justice for her community. Her work spanned across several organizations, including the AIDS Foundation of Chicago, Equality Illinois, and the Civil Rights Bureau of the Illinois Attorney General's Office. Perhaps her most notable contribution to our city was her work to co-found the Chicago Therapy Collective. Knowing that employment discrimination against the transgender community is a rampant issue here and across our country, Elise spearheaded a Hire Trans Now initiative to encourage businesses to create welcoming workplaces and hire transgender residents. In collaboration with our advisory committee, as well as the city and community leaders, it was decided that the mayor's office would participate in a Hire Trans Now initiative, championed by Elise. With the passage of the 2023 fiscal year budget, and we appreciate those who voted in favor, we are investing to enact the Chicago Therapy Collective's proposal so they can assess our current hiring practices and develop a policy promoting trans hiring, inclusivity, and training for our city departments. It's our hope that you, all the members of the City Council, will also participate in this initiative by recruiting 5 small businesses in your ward to follow your lead and sign the Hire Trans Now pledge. This doesn't become real, folks. It's not just words. It's got to be concrete, measurable action. We need to open up doors of opportunity for members of our community, all of our communities. And when you talk about inclusion and equity, it's got to include the trans community, pure and simple. With this resolution and Hire Trans Now initiative, we are affirming Chicago as a beacon of freedom and hope, where transgender people can come to find employment and access resources and support. We need to help our brothers and sisters to live the life that they have chosen, their authentic life. And I am confident that is exactly the future that Elise would have wanted to see in the city. We need to make sure that her hard work, her sacrifice, her selflessness does not go in vain. The way that we honor her legacy is by promoting the work and making it a reality. So during this Transgender Awareness Week, and always, my office will continue to work hand in hand with this community to make sure that we continue to fight, to make Chicago the most equitable and inclusive city in the country. Thank you all for everything you do every day, the sacrifices, the work. I know the work isn't easy. I know sometimes you feel despair, but believe me, your work is making a difference and impact is not. God bless you. Thank you.
So I'm back. Gotta love when the phone dies. It loves to do that a lot. But what has happened since being in the chamber with the older people and the mayor, the resolution, to my understanding, was passed. We had lunch at the Dearborn. I wish I could have gotten footage of that, but this phone was dead. And that was only because the charger in the car was not working at the time, so I could have been more prepared, but I had to make do. Afterwards, there was a press conference. Any footage that I find of it, I'm going to attach it right here. But yeah, there was a press conference. It was about the resolution as well as the story about the red line expanding from 95th to 130th, which is a big deal because this has been something that's been in the works and has been thrown around in discussion for over 60 years. And yet no movement had been made. And the only reason why there's a good possibility of movement this time is because the funding is there. It's only a matter now of there being an approval from the council. So the city council, the older people, they need to just go ahead and approve it so that red line can go to the far south side and more people can be served. Aside from that, the press conference was okay. A lot of us were very disappointed because the reporters that were present did not ask questions about the Higher Trans Now campaign or about Elise or even about the work that Chicago Therapy Collective does, which only proves how disappointing it can be. You put in your heart and you give, yourself into your speech, which, Iggy gave, just for there to not be a lot of interest being expressed by reporters to go deeper. But I mean, it kind of happens when you have two completely different things taking place at one time and being covered at the same press conference, which was the case in this case. There were some union workers who work on CTA, I think, tracks, as well as, us, the collective, who came to support Elise for the resolution. And it wasn't a surprise that no one had a charger. So I wasn't able to really get this phone charged up anyway when I was at City Hall. But what I will say is that the next episode will probably be when we'll go to the mural that you've seen in season 1. For Trans Day of Resilience or Trans Day of Remembrance, depending on who you ask. Hopefully by then I can show you my copy of the resolution that was passed. I would show it now, but I actually forgot to get it back from Iggy earlier today. They were carrying everyone else's copies because they had like this book thing to keep things in, and I didn't feel comfortable with putting something so significant in my purse for it to get bent or for it to get wrinkled or anything like that, because my purse is filled with all types of magical things, but also all types of things that are very edible. Yes, so and throughout that time when we were in the box at the chamber, these kept making so much noise. I was about to take these off. But they are beautiful though. So I just kind of kept it on and let them make the noise they wanted to make. Less head shaking and more just observing. But that is it for today. Once I find out when there's a new trial date for my friend Sean, I'll let you know. As far as anything else, I'm actually going to crash because I've been up since 4 this morning and it's almost 6. Mama tired. And I want to get all of this off. I want to get my pearls off. I'm going to get my earrings off. Already took off my bracelet that I had on. I'm going to take everything off. So that is it. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Let me know that you like this episode of Chasing Liberation. And it helps me out with getting the content out. And leave a comment. Leave a genuine comment. Let me know what you think of this episode. What was a highlight for you? What was something that you learned that was new to you? And share this out with your networks, your friends, your relatives, anyone you know. But for now, that is it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. You already know who I am, so I don't have to introduce myself. I don't have to. However, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. You be good. Have a great day. Take it easy. And hopefully you like my final beat. Because with all that drizzle, snow mix falling today, it was just really trying to mess with all of this. And it already made this like awful. It was gone. But I will see you in the next one. Be good. Bye.